All right, guys, welcome to another episode, The Underdawgs. We're gonna talk about very important topic today. Bren, what are we talking today?
Yeah, for today's episode, first I just want to say welcome, gentlemen. Glad we were able to make this happen.
Amazing.
I need you guys to understand, getting everyone's calendars to align and just make time. We're very busy, so to make it happen every single week, we're just pushing and finding a way, right?
And that's what we're talking about today.
100%. 100%. So for today's topic, we're going to talk about balancing on how to be a top performer at your job while also trying to build your own business. Really, it's something that we're all three currently in the thick of it right now. So I'm excited for this topic. So Vlad, start us off.
Man, before we start, I want to say to the audience, why you should watch our podcast. We don't have a lot of views yet. We don't have a big audience yet, but we're in the same shoes like you. So before you go and watch those big podcasts with millionaires and billionaires that achieved everything they could have achieved, and their stories and life examples, they don't relate to you in any way, and they even forgot the pain that you might be going through right now. We're in your shoes. We're trying to grow with you. So watch this episode till the end. And again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel because we have planned out a long journey and we want to take you with us. We're not scared to expose ourselves, our weaknesses, our pain, and let you know everything that we're going through while on the climb up on our mountain Everest. Corbin.
So I just want to say, what does it take to be a top performer? In my opinion, being a top performer, there's so many different areas that you have to grow in. You have to be able to be adaptable, as we were talking about a moment ago. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to learn on a day-to-day basis, and you have to be willing to continuously go out there with urgency because we're a top performer in an industry called sales. And I just want to go over what a top performer means to you, Vlad, what it means to you, Brandon, and how you believe that you're going to be a top performer at where you work, a top performer where you work. Is it through hustle, ambition, through manifesting that we talked about earlier today? Is it through being stoic when things are going wrong? What does it mean to you? For me, being a top performer, like I said, it means pushing forward, just like your CEO does, pushing forward at all times. We've had a couple tough months in sales. I'm sure it's across the board in all industries, but let's get right into it. What does a top performer mean for you, Vlad?
For me, it means to put the highest standards in front of yourself.
Okay.
I always compare myself to an athlete.
Sure.
When you go out and watch the game, football, soccer, those guys, they're animals. They get out there on that field and they ready to eat each other's children. They're so motivated, and behind that, it's unbelievable amount of work and discipline. And you look at them and you ask yourself, okay, why not me? What's so different between me and this guy on this field, on this basketball court or soccer field? We're same people. We have same body. Why I shouldn't put the highest standards? So I just like to compare myself to a high performing athlete, and it means a lot of different things. But when you work in sales, I think the comparison that keeps me motivated and keeps me going to compare to all the champions in the world of boxing, all the high performers in sports, competitive sports. So that's what it means to me.
Absolutely. Brandon, take it off. What do you think being a top performer means to you?
I love this topic because the greatest thing about being a top performer is you have control to do so, or to be one day, right? Everybody, for the most part, knows what it takes to be a top performer, but it's willing, if you want to do those hard, necessary steps, to get to that 1% or that top performer, right? Putting in more work, showing up early, paying attention to the small details, being relentless, being persistent, especially us all being in sales, that can kind of look a little different, but for the same, end goal, that's what it takes, right? I come from a cold calling background, right? I lead a sales team of SDRs, basically, meaning they book demos and our account executives close those deals. But for me, when I was a cold caller about a year ago, I just wanted it more than anyone else did at that place, right? I was willing to do everything necessary, right? Because most people don't want to be, consistent when it's hard, when they're not seeing the results. But I just had that, again, positive self-talk. I focus on the small things. And then another thing that allowed me to separate from the crowd was being creative, right? Because everyone can work hard, but how can you utilize your creativity to allow you to be even more efficient on top of your hard work, right? That's kind of how I thought and my whole process was. But at the end of the day, like, you can go be the top performer, right? It's just how bad you want it.
Yeah. And I'm going to tie off of Vlad right now. Being a top performer, maybe pick someone in a sports industry that you look up to, that you're motivated by their discipline, their consistency, because we brought it up in a couple podcasts prior to this about how multi-millionaire NFL players, they didn't start as an NFL player, right? They worked obsessively every day on their craft to make sure that they were the best at what they do. And so a key word is being obsessive. If you really want to be a top performer, you have to be obsessive in what you do. That's regardless of sales. That's regardless of when you work flipping burgers. If you're obsessive at what you do, you can be a top performer at any industry, at any standard. But you have to be able to go into a mindset that creates discipline, consistency, and structure like we talked about. And we want to tie really into consistency and discipline to being a top performer, right? It takes a lot of energy to post these videos out like you just brought up. It takes a lot of time commitment to be able to sit in a room like this on busy schedules and still post content daily, weekly, just for our audience, just for people like you, because we want you to know that anybody watching this video can be successful and can be a top performer if you really want it. And so that's what I think a top performer is being obsessive in your craft or your choice of work, so that way you can continue to grow and become that successful version of yourself. And that's what I've done a lot of. Go ahead.
Top performers too, they have a system in place as well, or a regimen, right? They either work out or, they have time blocks within their day that every single hour of their day they're utilizing.
Yes.
Right. So again, I mentioned this in the last podcast. Study top performers. If someone's beating you right now, understand what they're doing on a daily basis. Are they working, a little bit earlier than you? Are they doing more due diligence outside the office? Right? Because if you want to be a top performer, you're going to have to work outside the normal 8 to 5.
Absolutely.
Right? Or 9 to 6, whatever it is. You have to be obsessed where it's like every hour, I need to be a little bit better. I need to role play more, right? I need to get in front of more customers, right? I need to put myself out there on the camera just to, again, be more creative and get more reps.
Yeah.
We can compare athletes, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. The reason they're a top performer is because they put the work in and they had systems in place that they didn't negotiate with themselves and they showed up every single day.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to come back to the topic that we announced. Brent, do you mind to just read it again so we can dive in and break it down?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I think that's a good idea too.
So the topic for today is balancing being a top performer at work while also building your own business after hours.
Yeah, this is where the systems come into place. If you want to achieve something in life beyond just, okay, here's my 20 years, let's just stay at the job and build a career and become successful at the job that I work. Anybody can do it. That was kind of the mindset of our fathers, our parents, and grandparents, just to create that consistency and build a career. But I think we're talking about not just being a top performer, but build something while working the job, while working the sales job or 9 to 5. And I want to talk about it because everyone wants to quit a job right now.
Yeah.
There is
Huge.
It's just like since COVID, I think everyone's dream was to quit a job like tomorrow. And that's the mindset of the new generation. And it's very brave to have no plan B and just quit today and like just throw yourself out there with no plan. Like plan B doesn't exist. And we hear those successful stories where they come out as a winner in the end, but we don't hear the failing stories. We don't hear the stories where father has 3 kids and he took a risk. He quit the job that he hated and he lost his job because he was brave to start the business and he became bankrupt. He lost his house because he couldn't make a mortgage anymore. And yes, it's cool. You made a mistake, but you want to be more calculated with your moves. If you're 20-year-old, if you're 25-year-old, I understand that's not the life you want to have, what you have right now, the job that you have right now. But if you want to build that wealth and success as quick as possible, before you go through those big failures like bankruptcy, you want to have a plan and try to balance that work that you have right now and build something at the same time. And it's extremely hard. But if you want to be someone successful, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And that takes systems. So you guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, any top performer or anybody building a business, like you said, or building something successful after their work hours, you have to be a little bit delusional and you have to have structure and systems in place, like you said, so you know that during the morning, you handle taking care of yourself, your health, and going to the gym. During the daytime, you go to work, you work for somebody else, you build your career, you become a top performer, and then those little bit of after hours you have left, you focus on building a dream and turning that dream into reality, whether that's
Your dream.
selling products online, whether that's building something that you sell in stores. You know, billionaires and millionaires are created, like Brennan used to say, by finding a product that can impact millions or billions of lives. And that's how you're going to get to the next level.
But when do you have fun? I mean, when do you watch TV?
Fun is,
When do you watch the game?
forget fun.
When do you hang out with friends?
No, forget fun.
When do you drink beer?
Not in your 20s.
When do you go to the gym?
So
I mean,
forget-
you can go to the
forget
gym,
fun.
right? In the evening?
Let's just talk about forgetting fun, okay? Fun doesn't come with being successful. If you want to have fun, you need to do it later. You need to build the life when you're younger, while you're 20, 25, 30, 35, and then you get to live on vacation once you've built something for yourself through your hard work, your sleepless nights, your no partying, your no drinking, your no smoking, you know, hanging out with friends. You have to really be delusional.
But let's break it down for anyone who's watching us and use our own examples. How do you build your side hustle or your empire while keeping the job? Because you're really busy. How do you do that?
I'll
Hop
say
in,
this
yeah,
too.
take in.
I want to say something because Vlad challenged us this episode to really go deeper within our stories and our experiences. And when it comes to having a job, I was always naive growing up. Oh, I don't want a job. Oh, I'm never going to be that person with the job. But now working in, you know, the job market, it's a way you can leverage that job to help you build your side business or your side hustle, right? I'm a manager right now, and the leadership experience that I get every single day, Monday through Saturday that I work, I can correlate that, or I can translate that into my side hustle or my business, right? So most people
How
think—
many people do you lead? I'm sorry.
I lead about 16 highly motivated individuals.
And how old are you?
I am 27.
And how long did it take you to get to that level of leading 16 grown people, grown up people?
Yeah, it took me, I mean, working at this this place. It took me about a year, but people don't see the years of preparation that I put into myself as
It's
well.
extremely fast, man.
100%. Because
to do that,
to be a leader, you must also lead yourself, right? So I was a man that I was trying to lead with everything that I do, right? Just my thoughts, my persistence, my discipline, the words that came out of my mouth. So I wanted to lead myself and be the most optimal version of myself that allowed me to get this opportunity, work hard, be a top performer, and now be a manager. All these skill sets that you learn at your 9 to 5 or your job, leverage that, especially if you have someone that is highly successful that you can interact with on a daily basis. Leverage that. Ask questions, right? You're building something that nobody can take away, your skill sets. So we're in sales, persuasion, communication, negotiation. We can all bring those skill sets to our side hustles, right? So for me, I just understand, okay, I'm going to leverage this extra income that I'm earning from, 6 to 6 or 6 to 7, and then invest that into my business, invest that into myself. So I'm always pushing forward, right? You just have to understand your job is not the thing that's holding you back. It's your own mind or yourself, right? If you're willing to show up every single day on your after hours and be consistent and have a roadmap, you're going to push forward, right? You just have to outlast the hard seasons and the journeys and the valleys.
And that's what life is. Life is never a continuous up, right? Of happiness and joy that you were explaining. It's typically going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, because when life goes up and down, you can learn from all those low moments. You can grow from your highest moments, and you can take advantage of everything that you're bringing up right now. The skills, the communication, pronunciation, and being able to transfer that into your own business, transfer that into something you want to create. And for Vlad, right, it's using being a foreigner, right, and taking that into what we're creating here, which is connecting with an audience that we may not be able to tap into, Brendan and I. So using your skills that you already have can be taken into the business that you're creating, but you have to develop, like Brendan said, your inner self, who you are. You're bringing up structure. I wake up every day, typically, it ranges. No one's perfect, from 4:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. I go to the gym. I take care of my health. I take care of myself. Vlad and Brendan can attest to that. Then I go ahead and start my career, right? My work. I go to work for somebody. I take that very serious. I'm very prideful in what I do. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy sales. So that manifestation of being able to say I'm prideful at what I do, I'm great at what I do, allows me to be a top performer. And then after hours, we're continuously growing. We're continuously putting out shorts, Instagram videos, TikToks, just for the audience to know that with consistency, discipline, and desire to win, you can be successful, but you will go through ups and downs, and you will have to remove your friends. You will have to remove the fun. You will have to do everything that society tells you, hey,
to do,
why
not
aren't
to do.
Yeah, why aren't you drinking on the weekends? Do you drink?
no, man. Yesterday we had our Mercedes-Benz party, Christmas party, and everybody drank, had some drinks, and we have those tickets for free drinks, and I'm like ordering Diet Pepsi. And, it's easy to get influenced by everybody else, whether it's drinking or just, a loser mentality. We're not saying stay at the job all your life, but when you're young, you have to go through the balance. And this is, I think, if you juggle both, you will get to your final destination faster, and you will get some skills, learn some skills, like Brandon mentioned, that you won't be able to learn on your own, building that business that you're trying to do. But it's important to build the system, and while being a top performer, stay disciplined enough where you don't get brainwashed by everyone else that works at your job, and haven't, and not stuck there for 15, 20 years, because getting influenced by your environment is just natural to human psychology, and you don't want that. You also don't want to have your ego when you're in sales to win over your long-term plans, and just because you want to be a number one top performer and beat another guy, ruin all your other plans. I can speak on based on my own example. I have online business. I have a FBA business. I have my own brand. I sell on Amazon, and I'm so competitive that I forget sometimes to focus on my business and go out there and do another sale on my day off, when I could have create systems and strictly do, okay, I have to be at work 4 or 5 days. Let's just strictly be there on time. I have to be there, be ultra focused, and don't let your ego, because it's purely ego, to dictate your plans and what your behavior. Because it's easy to do something when everybody claps, but it's harder to do the work that nobody sees. Because when I'm at home and I'm in the morning, I dedicate an hour in the morning before I go to work and do the work. It's easy to say, not today. Nobody sees it anyway. There is no competition. It's only competition with yourself. So you have to realize that the main competition you have to be a top performer and balance life, to build something during your work life when you still have a job, is your competition with yourself. And you can't just dedicate all the energy to that job. You have to build that side hustle at the same time. And I'll share my own experience, how I got influenced by everybody else in the world that wants to quit the job today. But I just wanted you guys to speak on dividing that energy and distributing that energy, because me and you talked about it. You're very dedicated, Corbin. You have work ethic that I've never seen. You haven't missed a gym for years, and I see you waking up every day at 4 or 5 a.m. and like you have unbelievable discipline. But we talked about how it's important to divide that schedule and being able to shut, I don't know if it's an ego, if it's like, I don't know what it is. Like, how do you divide that and build systems?
I just take my life very seriously. So we have to build structure. If I don't take my life seriously, how can I impact your life or Brendan's life or the people on the show right now watching? I can't impact your life if I'm not taking my own life seriously. I can't be a community leader if I'm not waking up and taking care of myself first, and then going out here after taking care of myself to take care of people that we interact with on a day-to-day basis, and being super focused, like you said, on my job. But Vlad's right. The ego can get in the way when you're in this fierce competition of work, which we do is sales, right? And we hope that maybe one day people watching this, if you feel like you're ever stuck in the job that you currently have, go into sales and see how awesome or not awesome sales can be for you, to decide if it is something that you would like to endeavor in. Sales is great, but it does come with a lot of pride and ego, which gets in the way of building dreams into reality. And that's where you really have to sit down and be like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Who are you on the inside? And that's going to allow you to build structures on how to build who you want to become, this better version. And I'm all about becoming a better version. So these are the structures I've laid in stone, so that way I don't break what I'm doing for anybody else. I'm not going to not do push-ups because somebody said, hey, why are you doing that? I'm going to do that because it's taking care of myself. So I built that structure, take care of myself. Then I'm going to go to my career because you have bills, I have bills, you have bills. So I'm going to take care of that as well.
But we're talking about building a side hustle, building a business while being at work. And I want to emphasize the importance of staying disciplined, not only being a top performer at work, but dividing that time so and block that time to have time to build that.
Take it all.
You have to systemize your days. You have to look at a day and be like, okay, I have 24 hours in a day. The first 8 hours is for my sleep. But if you're trying to build a side hustle while being a top performer, ideally, you're not going to get 8 hours of sleep. Put 6 hours, right? And then from 6 to 7, depending on what time you work, do at least 30 minutes for self-reflection for yourself, right? To make sure when you do show up to work at 8 or 9, or maybe it's a little bit earlier, you're ready to go. Your mindset's on point. You're ready to attack the day. When you show up to work, be present. Don't be thinking about your side hustle, what you're going to do for dinner, or just be present where your feet are, right? My old lacrosse coach used to always say that no matter where you're at, just be present where you're at, right? So be present at work, work your ass off. And then once work is over, you need to be working at least 10 hours at your job to be a top performer, ideally, right? So that's 18 hours. So now you have a few hours after work to eat, to sleep, and to work on your side hustle. You need to be doing at least 2 hours a night before you go to bed, from 9 to 11, right? You need to be working on your side hustle and only putting that time block to work on your business or your side hustle, whatever that is. That could be getting more leads. That could be editing content. That could be posting content. That could be building a website, whatever it is, right? And then that last hour of the day, eat, get ready for bed, and then re-attack the day, doing that same set of schedule. Right now is not the time for fun. We're in our late 20s. Vlad's a little bit older, right? We're not seeking fun. We're seeking purpose, right? We're seeking freedom. We're sacrificing short-term fun for long-term greatness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, while you have the energy. And everyone is different. You might be the morning person and you have to wake up a little bit earlier to get your shit done, and you know what you have to get done. Like, I just enjoy that little time that I dedicate to myself when I don't have any commitments and obligations to the world. In the morning, I wake up at 5:30 a.m. and I have a routine where, okay, every day I read for 30 minutes. I wake up, the first thing I do is reading. I enjoy reading, and that's what I do for myself, and to really help your mindset for the rest of the day. And then I'm not as consistent as you guys with writing, but I just sometimes like self-reflect and I write and manifest and things like that. And then I dedicate about 15 to 20 minutes for work, wherever project I have. Okay, that's my online course. That's the my online business. And it's, if you do it consistently, like building that online business or building the website, doing content, wherever you have planned out, and you just dedicate 15 minutes, but you do it every day, the results will show up. And if you can stay consistent, again, we talked about it a million times, that's the number one rule. And if you're not a morning person, you can do it in the evening, like Brandon. You have some animal wake up within you and you're like super focused and that's your time. Do it in the evening. Like, I can't. If I start like doing something in the evening, I'm falling asleep. Plus I have my family. Like, if you have kids, if you have wife, you have another person that you have to commit to, don't lie to yourself. Don't be a bad family man or a bad husband by strictly like, okay, you have to go to the gym. By the way, I also go to the gym in the morning. And I bring it up because like you have to do all these things in the morning and you don't have a lot of time. Like, you have to go to work. Like, we're talking to you, like you at work right now. And so the gym can be 30 minutes. Like, for me, I get in the gym, 30, 40 minutes, focused workout. But now I have done so many things in the morning, and again, like I said, if you're a family man, do it in the morning. That works for me,
When it comes to building a business too, I want you guys to really understand. The first business that you start, it's probably going to fail. The second business, it's probably going to fail, right? But you have to be willing to get up after every single failure and look at it like, okay, what did I learn through this journey of building this side hustle or this business? For me, I've built at least 5 different companies. They've all failed. But I've done something with lighters. I wanted to try to make a more innovative lighter. I did something with a cleaning service, right, for college students because there was no maids cleaning inside students' dorm rooms. So I was like, okay, I'll be that person, right? I also started numerous clothing brands. I did a fitness, coaching. And then now I'm doing sales, right? All of those businesses or side hustles that I started all failed. But I learned from all of those opportunities that I went on, more about myself, what it takes to be more efficient, how to battle showing up every single day to work, to be a top performer and not allowing your employers to be like hating on you. Hey, why are you building that side hustle? Why are you posting content? That's not going to work. Just focus on your job, right? You have to understand a lot of people are going to be hating on you too while you build the side business. So you also have to look at the end goal and just focus on every day because negativity is going to come, opinions are going to come, failure is going to come, right? But the person who doesn't give up is not the failure. They're actually the winner, right? Because they're learning and they're progressing every single day. So I just wanted to iterate that because failure is inevitable. You're going to fail, but that's what's needed for you to be someone that can have a successful business, to manage employees, to manage the low seasons of business and still have that positive mentality as a business owner or a founder, whatever you are, to continue to push forward and relay that message to your employees, right? I love my job. And I'll say this because I really want to expand on it because I know how to be successful within every department, customer success, sales, management, right? I've gone through every, sector of business to be like, okay, that's how I conduct myself. Okay, that's not what to do, right? But it's through the failures. It's through showing up every single day, right? So take it with a grain of salt and just keep pushing forward, right? Again, the commonality, consistency, right? Systemizing your day, right? Wanting it more than anyone, right? If you're a top performer at your job, you can be a top performer or you can start that side business, right? It's just utilizing other characteristics of yourself and just having that relentless mentality.
What do you do when you're tired? That's something that most people say, you know what? I've been doing this. I keep posting content. I keep going to work. It's been a long day. It's been actually 2 years and I'm getting tired. What do you think would go through someone's mind if they've already put 2 years in? Do you think they're tired or do you think they're going to keep pushing forward? What do you think?
Well, first of all, you and me discuss how we don't want to use the word tired.
Never.
So
I
that
don't.
just cancel it out of your vocabulary if you're a man. That's just a good quality to have. And you will get frustrated by doing the same thing and staying consistent and not getting the results. So the fact that you feel that way, tired, I don't even want to say that word. Yeah. It just means that maybe you don't move in the right direction, and you have to have small wins, and you have to figure out how you get those small wins. Let's say that you have a job and you absolutely hate it, and everyone is successful on Instagram, and you know that girl on Instagram is not going to reply to your DM because you're not there yet, and you're watching everyone succeed. And how do you still keep going? You have a side hustle. You have something that you want to grow and you want to build outside of your work, and you have small wins. And those small wins will give you the energy. Because you can't just keep going and just feel like shit, frustrated for 5 years. That means you're not moving in the right direction. Your body, your brain, your energy levels go dependent if you're moving in the right direction or you're not moving in the right direction. It was 2021. Everyone was fucking making money on crypto. Everyone was becoming a millionaire. These 25, 27-year-old immigrants, just like me, that came to this country recently in trucking business, making millions of dollars, buying G-Wagons from me. And I, making $300,000, thought that I'm a loser. I had depressions. I would go and walk in the forest because I was so depressed and tired of my job and watching everyone win, and I'm like, I can beat that. I can do that. So like watching all these successful people on YouTube telling you that you should quit your job today. I quit my job. I started with no plan the Amazon because again, it was so good. Everyone, just whoever's trying to sell a course was selling it so well. I fell for it. I left my job, which is okay. Not that I still have my online business. It didn't go as planned. It didn't free me. And I remember my friend Aziz, he got in an accident, unfortunately. Peace to him, he's in heaven. He had 100 semi-trucks, just like me, immigrant from Kyrgyzstan. Aziz asking me, listen, so you left the job and I want the best for you, but you don't think you could have done it, stay in the job? I'm like, no, Aziz, it's impossible. Like I can't possibly focus. But at that time, I was like 25, 26-year-old. I didn't know what discipline is. I didn't know what consistency is. I just wanted everything now. Just like everybody else fucking behind this camera. I want everything now. You have to quit that. And if you feel like brave and you got no plan B, it's okay. You can go and quit your job and fail, but fail fast. That's all.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing that you said is everybody wants to win now, but they don't realize that winning comes with decades of work or delayed gratification. Anything that you achieve in a quick time is going to be taken away from you.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like,
even quicker.
Say that one-liner. Say it one more time for the audience.
So
they
anything
really understand.
that you get quick, anything that amasses in a quick amount of time, if you make money quick, it goes away even quicker.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So what comes to you fast leaves even faster.
Yes.
You have to build yourself, build your character, who you are, your business. You have to fail. You have to grow. You have to keep going, keep showing up. So all of that time that you put in, you actually get to keep the reward at the end because you've learned so much from everything. I know plenty of influencers and movie stars that made all this money and then they're gone like that. And when they're at the rock bottom, they don't even know who they are because all they know is the high of life. So get in the habit of having delayed gratification, having your mindset on the future, okay? Even though the future doesn't exist, plan daily for what your future is going to look like. Put in the work like we're doing. Build the side hustle while keeping the career because you need to pay for your bills somehow. We're just like you guys. We have bills.
Yeah.
We have car payments. We have rent due. We have so much things that require us to stay trapped as slaves in our career. But to be successful, you have to be okay with doing the basics, building your strengths, growing yourself so you can learn and achieve greatness in life.
Commit.
You have to understand too, when you're on this journey of being a top performer and building your side hustle, everyone's tired. You have to get used to being tired and still show up, right? Because that feeling, that emotion is not going to go away, right? So you have to learn to be uncomfortable being comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Learn to be uncomfortable being comfortable
Correct.
in that situation, right? And what a privilege it is to be tired, to be a top performer at your job and still have the time and mentality and self-discipline to show up for your side hustle. What a privilege it is. So change your perspective. Woe is me. I'm tired. It's not working. I failed again. My coworkers are making fun of me. No, this is what it takes for you to be that successful founder when you do leverage that side hustle and it makes more money than your job. Then go 100% with the side hustle, right? But just understand the journey is what's needed. It builds you, right? Because the version of who you are today probably can't lead and manage and expand a successful business. Can't leverage and maintain all that money, all that pressure, all that accountability. But the version of you today, in that process of you building it over the years, over the delayed gratification, builds and molds you into that individual that can take on that success, that pressure, right? So just understand, if you're in the thick of it, I'm in the thick of it right now. I wake up fucking pissed that I'm not successful yet, right? But I just understand.
Conversations about that.
100%. We have so many conversations. Sometimes I just feel like I'm losing, right? But it's just that relentless pursuit and just to have that delayed gratification. Okay, if I just show up today, I'm going to start to see the fruits of my labor down the line, right? If I'm willing to sacrifice today, I'm willing to see the fruits of my labor down the line.
Stop thinking that it's easier for someone and it's just hard for you. Commit. You have to commit. It's a little work that you have to do every day and you have to commit to it. And just like today, we're recording this podcast and now it's our 5th podcast.
Yeah.
And we trying to do this while being a full-time employees in sales, where you have to work sometimes 12, 14 hours.
Top performers too.
16 hours a day. I left.
Just in case you guys forgot.
I left. Me and Corbin work at #1 Mercedes-Benz dealership in the country and in the world.
Say it one more time, Vlad.
We work at #1 Mercedes-Benz dealership in United States the last 26 years and in the world by amount of those cars sold. So the other day I left at
12 a.m.
12:40 a.m.
Yeah,
I sold that G-Wagon and it really made me discombobulated for a few days. I'm like, what the heck? And I still have to commit to the gym. I still have to commit and see you guys today when I'm at work. We didn't plan to do it today. We planned to do it tomorrow, but because of other commitments, we had to replan it in today. And it's those little moments when you have to push like a train and you have to keep going. You have to commit. Just promise to yourself, be a man of your word. If you said something, you're going to do it, announce it to the world so everyone else knows what you're going to do. So you have no plan to back out and commit. That's all.
Yeah. And the word tired, like Vlad said earlier, I hate that word. So I was just asking that question to see how you guys would respond to it. I don't use that word in my vocabulary because what you say is what you'll start believing. So like Brendan said, if you believe that you're going to be great at what you do, you can actually become great at what you do.
Yeah, I remember me and you were running in the mountains and you're like, I don't use the word tired. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you don't use the word tired? I'm pretty fucking tired. And we had no water. It's like running for 15 miles.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't use, and I'm like, I like that. Yeah, I'm not going to use that anymore.
No.
And it really it feels better.
Yeah. You're not looking for complaining, but go ahead.
If you're on the point of giving up, quitting, throwing in the towel because it's hard, because you're not seeing the results, this is the point in your journey where most people give up, right? If you can tell yourself that every time where you're just so close, you're like, you know what, fuck this, right? I'm sick and tired of just going through all this hardship and not seeing anything happen in my way. Just understand, most people, that's their quitting point. For you though, for us, that's a point that we keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
So there's going to be many times in your journey where the easiest thing in the world to do is to complain, to make excuses, or to give up. The hardest thing is to stay true to that process, right? And that's the difference. Most people give up because it's easy, but the ones that make something happen out of nothing continue just to push forward, right?
Yeah. And they're the same like us. And we're asking sometimes, you look at the guy and he's like average looking guy and he might not be even like in the shape. I know because we go to the gym and it's important for us as a quality of the person to be disciplined and in a good shape. Some people don't even have that quality, but they're able to push through. And when it's hard, they can still go through it. And that's the main quality of successful person, because when you planned out to be above average person, you knew it's going to be hard. Yeah. So why are you complaining now? Yeah. And you just got to tell yourself, okay, I knew it's going to be hard. I want to be a fucking billionaire. I want to have millions of dollars. And it's not something that easy. It's like less than 1% of the world, just to be a millionaire. And it's just like under 400 billionaires. So if you want to get to that level, why are you complaining right now? If you knew it's going to be hard, this is what hard is right now. So you just got to tell yourself, okay, I knew it's going to be hard, and this is what hard feels right now. I live in this moment.
And not to cut you off, but like all of your coworkers are average, okay? And my manager said to me, was like, no, even the greatest athletes, even the Kobe Bryants of the world, even the Arnold Schwarzeneggers of the world, you don't know what they were like before becoming the greatest players and the greatest bodybuilder in the world.
They were always fucking winners.
Yes, I was like, fuck that mentality, because you don't know what it fucking means to be a winner. You don't know what it means to be obsessive. So if you listen to average fucking people all fucking day, you're going to lose.
You're going to get brainwashed.
Yes, you're going to lose. And we are winners. So you either push fucking forward when it gets hard, you stop being weak, and you attack your goals and dreams with the exact attitude you want out of life. You want to be a billionaire? Go be a billionaire. Just fucking run through the wall. Be strong, committed to everything that you do, and don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to people that don't have the same dreams and aspirations as you, and do not hang around people that are miserable. Find a crowd that you'll go to war with, that you would drag their body if they needed help across the line to safety. Be an impact in your community by being exactly what you say you're gonna be. Commit. Be dedicated. So I bring it up with a pretty stern voice because you're watching this right now and you love it, and that's fucking great. But be in love with yourself as well, and be courageous enough to take action every day to build your side hustle, build your career, and be the man that you want to be. And I don't know if you both feel the same way, but I'm sure both of you know that every day someone comes in your life and says some fucking stupid ass negative comment, or, oh, how are you like that, B? How'd you get like that, Brendan? How are you so competitive? How are you so good at speaking on the phone? Vlad, how are you so good with the customer? How are you so good at changing from this car, right? We work in car sales, from this car to this car, because we are committed to what we do. And so we know how to attack the situation with the willingness to win.
Bro, I don't even get excited by those comments. I don't like those comments. I actually tell those people to not drop those comments, how great I am or how great did I do. When I see myself on top of the board, like the first month I started the #1 Mercedes-Benz dealership and I'm #1 top salesperson, I'm like, that's actually it's below my goal. Like, why are you clapping? It's below my goal. Like, don't get that voice out of my head, because I don't want to hear your voice. I want to hear my own voice, because I set the standards for myself. That's important, to have your own voice and have a competition with yourself. But it's hard because, again, it's our nature to mold to the environment. And that's why you have to put the timelines.
Yeah.
Timelines. Okay, how long is going to take me to build that business? And you have to be strategic with this and patient, but you have to keep building, like that movie where they want to get out of the prison and they use the fork to, get that hole and get out of that prison. So same thing, you have to dig that hole every day to get out of the fucking slavery, because this is slavery. You can't possibly work all your fucking life, and if you don't set the timeline, you're gonna get brainwashed. It's just natural.
Yeah. Take it off, B.
One of the biggest things that helps me not give up, right? You have to understand, I put myself out there when it comes to social media. I've been doing YouTube for 6 years, right? When I was a Division I athlete, I put myself out there on Instagram, fitness, doing a clothing brand. Like, I've failed so many times, but the reason that I have never allowed those failures to derail me off the path and just allow me just to be like, you know what, fuck this, is because if you fail, everybody who's doubting you, everybody who's hating on you, criticizing you, they win. They win. You're not able to do that. You, of all people, you can't start that successful business. They win if you give up. So that's the thing that's playing in my head every single day. If I don't show up, if I give up, everybody hating on me wins. So that gives me fuel. That gives me the energy to last through the seasons of hardship, the seasons of despair where it's like, fuck.
Whatever makes you keep going.
Right? I know Vlad says he doesn't like the comments. I like hateful comments. I love when someone doubts me or tells me I can't do something, or I hear something in the side of my ear, because that's just the fuel, right? This whole journey, you're going to see more losses than wins, right? It's going to be hard battling both things at once, right? If you have a family, it's going to be hard to balance time with them, right? To find good sleep, to not be stressed out, to not have anxiety, right? But again, all of those feelings, all of these hardship, all of these obstacles build you to be a stronger person, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the person behind that business that makes that business successful, right? Yes, the customers are buying stuff and it solves a problem in the market space, but it's that person who had that idea in their head and implemented it, but believed in themselves, but kept showing up after all those failures, but kept trying to, go back to the drawing board after the failures to be more strategic this next go around, right? So just understand, if you allow all these opportunities of you starting something and showing up and all of this, right? It's going to build you into someone that's nothing can stop you, right? That nothing can get in your way, right? But again, the commonality behind everything is like wanting it more and showing up more, right?
I think we have to sum it up at this point and like go over what we talked about today. Is like, you have to be patient, you have to be strategic. It's not about today and right now moment. It's about building brick by brick, have a plan and stick to it, and being able to commit before you burn the bridge and decide, okay, I don't want to fuck the job, I'm above all that. Well, obviously, if you're still at your fucking job and you don't have 200, 300 $1 million in your account, you're not above that job. You're exactly where you deserve to be. Stop saying shit that you above that and you deserve better. Your life situation dictates what you deserve right now. And yes, you have potential to be better, to be bigger than you are today, but you have to get there and it takes time. And while you're building that side hustle, that business, you don't want to quit your job, stay patient. And when you have income coming in where it can cover your minimum expenses and you're wasting your time at that job, then you make the move and then you change your life. But it takes time.
99% of the world puts on a facade that they've made it in life, but in reality, most of them are in debt. And that's how America runs. So build your side business, build who you are so you can get out the rat race and become the successful version you want to be. And I think that's the most important. Like you said, be patient. Be patient with the dream.
We feel your pain. We are in the same shoes. We don't fucking enjoy working for someone. But you have to listen to people that gone through what you're going through. And like, I'm just upset for all these, young people that like trying to quit the job today and they're not getting anywhere because they don't build those skills that me, you, and you, Brandon, getting while having that job. And then they just give up on life and it's too late.
Some people don't wake up until they're 30, like I said, or 35. They don't even know what they missed out in life, right? They're just following the crowd. It's like, where's Waldo? Everybody knows where Waldo is. You might not know where Waldo is because you're a foreigner. But
I'm from fucking different planet. What I do know that...
You know what Where's Waldo is?
What is fucking Waldo? Tell me.
So it's a book that they put a picture of an individual inside a packed crowd. And you're meant to look inside the book and find where's Waldo. It's just this one individual. He looks the same, but he's different from the rest of the crowd.
Do you know what Waldo is?
Of course they know what Waldo is.
Well, came from different country 10 years ago, didn't speak English, and now I'm here with these Americans.
I will say this too, right? Coming with the mentality, like I'm gonna leverage my job. So if you're not in the most optimal job atmosphere, that's not gonna allow you to build traits to translate into your business or your side hustle, go into a profession, right? Or a niche that you can build skill sets that, again, you can always leverage in your back pocket. Sales, right? Or marketing, or, whatever it is, but leverage that job, leverage that income, leverage that time and experience, and be there and have a deadline too. Okay, I'm gonna be here for a year. I'm gonna get everything out of this job, every sort of information that when I start my side hustle, right? When I'm building my side hustle, I can go all the way in because I leveraged my opportunity at this job. Ask a lot of questions. But build a relationship with the founder or the CEO that you're working for. How did they do it? What was their whole story? How did they start with an idea in this head and then build it to a whole reality, right? Study successful people, see how they operate, how they're systemizing their days, right? Leverage that opportunity, and then go hit the ground running when it comes to your side hustle.
Guys, I wanted to finish this because we are running out of time, but there is something that I feel like it's extremely important to mention because what stops people from getting out of slavery that we call a career and start the new journey where you can build real success, which is balling while you're at a job. When I was making great money at a job, I thought I can go and enjoy life. I can go and buy Range Rovers and brand new Mercedes-Benzes. And that's what held me back. Don't do that. Stay humble. Realize that it's not time to ball. You're there to build skills, money, and get out of fucking slavery, because we do realize that it's a slavery. Put the timeline, act. And I think it's time to sum it up and finish it, unless you guys have to add something. I want to tell you that you're not alone. We're just like you. Stay with us on this journey. Subscribe to this channel. Give us a like, give us some love, share it with your friends, and let's go through this journey called life together. We're gonna win. We'll see you in the next episode.
Have a great day. Peace.